Here for example 4, we're going to evaluate sine, cosine, tangent once again, if possible. And we're going to find these values of this real number t. Once again, remember that if you have radian values, that t value is the time or is the distance around your circle. It's not the angles, it's the distance around the outside of your circle. So if you have a circle, then circle is a square. Not so much. So maybe if you have this circle, if you want to go the distance of pi over 3, you're starting here at your 0. The distance of pi over 3 goes up here. You need to think of what is that ordered pair at pi over 3. And because we all know our unit circle so well and didn't memorize it just for one day, we can probably remember that the ordered pair, our point at pi over 3, is a 1/2 comma radical 3 over 2. See, it's important that you know your circle because you're not going to be able to use it for your quiz next week. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to evaluate our sine of t, our cosine of t, and our tangent of t. Alright, so sine of t. Hey, that's just your y value. So that's just radical 3 over 2. The cosine value, hey, that's your x value. So you get a 1/2 there. Now your tangent, that is just a y over your x, or that is a sine of t divided by your cosine of t. You need to make sure you know these. So you're going to take your sine of t, which is a radical 3 over 2, and we're going to divide that by our cosine of t, which is a 1/2. And in order to simplify this, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to multiply top and bottom. You can't have a fraction and a fraction. Multiply top and bottom by the reciprocal of your denominator. Cool part about this, whoosh, whoosh, cancel, whoosh, cancel. You get a radical 3 over 1 or just radical 3. So when your t is a pi over 3, there are your sine, cosine, tangent values. What you could do is you could just flip all those over if you want to find the reciprocals, but we won't do that today. Now, negative 5 pi over 4. Gosh, I wish I knew where that was. Well, let's use a circle. Negative 5 pi over 4. That's a negative 1 1/4 pi. So I'm going to go this direction around my circle. There's a negative 1 pi. And then I want 1/4 of this distance. So 1/4 would be right here. That is also known as 3 pi over 4. Gosh, it's good to know coterminal values. So at 3 pi over 4, this has a point of, they're both radical 2's over 2's. And your x is negative here in quadrant 2. So if we go through and figure out what our sine of t, cosine of t, and tangent of t are, we just go through all these values, and we're going to say my sine of t, that's the y value. So that's radical 2 over 2, positive radical 2 over 2. Cosine value, that's your x here. So you get a negative radical 2 over 2. And then tangent, once again, is your same thing as taking your sine of t divided by your cosine of t. So we're going to take a radical 2 over 2 divided by a negative radical 2 over 2. And these are the same thing, except one's positive, one's negative. So if you're dividing something by itself, you're going to get a negative 1. Ho-hum. Anytime you have a tangent of t and it's one of these values that has a 4 on the bottom, 4, 1/4, 7/4, or 5/4, your tangent's always going to be a positive one or a negative one because you are dividing something by itself. A little bit of knowledge there for you. I hope you keep it locked in the vault and never forget about it.